My name is Justin Roberts, and I am a technical leader for the Firepower product here at Cisco, and I'm going to quickly walk you through the basics of downloading Firepower software. So first you need to go to software.cisco.com and click on the software download link. From here, we need to specify a product we want to start with, so in this case I'm going to start with the Firepower Management Center product. And when I type that in, I get a list of all the Firepower Management Centers that currently have software downloads. In my particular case, I have a virtual appliance, so I'll click on that. And then I'll click on the Firepower Management Center software link after that. So this brings you to the landing page for all versions for this particular appliance, and it starts you off with a recommended release, which is currently 6407. Now, let's say that you don't want to use a recommended release, and you want to go for something more specific. So if you want to get the latest release, they have a section here specifically showing you the latest release for each version train. But if I want to go something that's not the latest, for instance, I need to go down to the All Releases section and pick something more specific. So let's say I needed something in the 6.5 version. I'll click on 6.5 and navigate to here, and let's say I need something from 6.502 to get some fixes. I click on that, and it shows me that I can download this 6.502 Cisco Firepower Management Center patch by clicking download here. Now you might also notice that there's another piece of software in this called the Firepower Management Center Hotfix, and this one is titled Hotfix B. What is that? So hotfixes are designed to address specific defects before they can be resolved in official patch releases. Now that's not to say that hotfixes are not official quote-unquote software releases, because they are, but hotfixes are simply used as a vehicle to address critical defects on the in-between software releases. So for this particular one, if I want to find out what it's fixing, I can click on this hotfix release notes link here, and then available hotfixes. So when I do that, I can go down to 6.5 hotfixes, and I can see hotfix B, which we saw before, which is specific for FMCs, and it resolves issues with application identification, specifically an issue that we had with some VDB installations on the Firepower Management Centers. Going back, you might notice, however, that this says version 6.503 and not 6.502, even though we're in the 6.502 section for the downloads. Don't worry, that's expected. The naming scheme we have for hotfixes is always going to increment the version by 1, and it's going to be 1 greater than the version that you can actually install it on. That's true for 9 times out of 10. Sometimes there are some exceptions, and you might actually see a version way higher or no version at all, but for the most part, it'll be 1 version higher. In this case, 6.503. So now that we have our Firepower Management Center software, let's go back to the software download and get the software we need for our managed devices. So in this case, I have a Firepower 4100 series appliance, so I'll search for 41, and I have a Firepower 4110, so I'll click on that one. Once here, I'll click on the Firepower Threat Defense software, because that's what I need right now. And you'll notice the page looks very similar to the FMCs, where it has the recommended version of 6407, but we already know we don't need that. We need to go to version 6.5, so I'll go down to 6.5. But in this case, I'm not actually running version 6.5 on my Firepower 4110 yet. I'm running 6.4 still, so I need to download version 6.50 to start, because I need to upgrade. When you come in here, you'll notice there are 2 files, a CSP file and a .rel tar file. So which do you pick? Well, the .csp file is the base installation file. So for major versions or feature releases, you'll have the 6.5.0 will have the installation packages. So it might be an ISO file, a CSP file, or some image file, something like that. This is for new installations of reimages. But I'm already running Firepower Threat Defense, so I wanted to get this .rel tar file so I can upgrade. So all you do is click download on this one, and I'll save that for later. While I'm here, however, I may as well also download this 6.502 patch, because once I upgrade to 6.50, I'm going to then immediately patch to 6.502 to match what I have on my FMC. So you'll notice there's a hotfix file in here as well. Obviously that's not what I want. I want this Firepower Threat Defense patch 6.502, so if I click download on that one as well, I'll be ready to go. So when it comes to the Firepower 4100 and 9300 series appliances in particular, there's another piece of software that you're going to have to keep in mind whenever you're doing upgrades or patches. So let's go back to the software download page, and we'll navigate back to my Firepower 4110 page. And this time we're going to click on the Firepower Extensible Operating System link, or FXOS as it's more commonly known. So FXOS is the software that's actually installed onto the chassis itself. Once you install FXOS, on top of that you'll install your logical devices like ASA, or in our case FTD. So I don't know what version I'm actually running for FXOS, but that's okay because each FXOS version kind of pairs up or matches up to a particular logical device version for FTD. So I know I'm going to FXOS version for FTD 6.5. So let's go to the compatibility guide here and see what actual version of FXOS I need to install. So if you go down to this table for compatibility, if you look at FTD version, I can find version 6.5, and I'm going to be running version 27192 or greater for FXOS. So if I go back to my downloads page, I can go down to version 2.7, and I can see that version 92 is right here, but I'm actually going to install version 122 so that I get all patches and bug fixes since version 92 was released. So in this section, you'll notice that there are quite a few more images. The top 3 images here are recovery images. You can ignore those for now. These images are used for when you're trying to re-image FXOS itself and kickstart, much similar to NXOS versions. So we actually want to go for the FXOS for Firepower version here, and not this bottom file. This bottom file here is the MIBS file for SNMP monitoring, and is just going to contain the OIDs used for your SNMP traps and monitoring and things like that. So we're going to go for the FXOS image for Firepower, this SPA file, and download that as well. So this will allow me to upgrade my FXOS image before I install my FTD versions up to 6.5 and then 6.5.02. So that was a basic overview of how to download Firepower software from software.cisco.com. With this walkthrough, we were able to download images from my virtual Firepower Management Center to go to version 6.5.02, as well as grab images from my Firepower 4110 logical devices running FTD version 6.4 to upgrade them to version 6.5 and then patch to 6.5.02 with a matching compatible FXOS version. As always, please refer to the compatibility guides and release notes for all upgrade information moving forward to make sure that you have a successful upgrade.